All right, Brian, give me just from being there, give me a takeaway from what you observed up close at Steelers practice.
A lot of talent, man. A lot of talent. I'm excited. You got a lot of guys flying around. The energy was extremely intense. I love the atmosphere in which Coach Tomlin has set for the guys. It made me feel real good to really see a team that really has improved when it comes to talent. And I think that is a huge reason why I believe we're going to see a much improved ball club this year. Now, granted, health has to play a big part in that, but when you talk about the talent that they've added on both sides of football, I mean, I'm excited, man. It should be a fun year.
Bryant, you had a very high-profile PBU in your rookie season with Reggie Wayne and possibly a come-from-ahead loss staring down the barrel late in that Colts game. So you know a thing or two about guarding really good wide receivers. If you were matched up against George Pickens, what would you be doing to try to slow that guy down? What would be your strategy to stop him?
Oh, man, I don't know. Maybe, make sure I pray first and foremost, say a good prayer. But, man, George Pickens is a very, very unique wide receiver, man. You can try to be physical with him, but he has the size that he welcomes that mindset from a defender. He's a very, very fluid route runner. He has an unorthodox style of running routes, which is very, very hard to kind of pick up on. So for me, I think you just got to try to be physical. But as we've seen throughout his short career, being physical with him doesn't necessarily mean you slow him down.
Brian McFadden.
He's very gifted.
Yeah, yes, he is. Brian McFadden, former Steeler and CBS sports analyst here. He was just at St. Vincent College. I got to go back to what you said about this team. You said much improved. They won 9 games last year, Bryant. So do you think the Steelers are a Super Bowl contender?
I'm not going to say a Super Bowl contender just yet, but I'll say they are a playoff caliber team. And I think that's, if you were to ask me this question a year ago, right, around this time, I probably wouldn't have said a playoff caliber team because we had a lot of unknowns that we had to figure out. I think when you talk about knowing who the quarterback is this year, right, there's no musical chairs at the quarterback. Kenny Pickett, healthy, he is our guy. Talking about the talent that I talked about, reference into what they've added, yeah, they're a playoff caliber team. And guys, think about this. Heck, my rookie year, once you get into the tournament, anything can happen. We found a way to get into the playoffs in 2005, and look how it played out for us. So for me, Pittsburgh, they're a playoff caliber team. If you get into the tournament, anything can happen, and I think they definitely will have an opportunity to showcase that.
What did you think of Kenny Pickett this year compared to last year when you may have seen him? I know he wasn't getting a ton of reps at camp last year, but what was your impression of him?
Yo, he looks like a vet. He looks very, very comfortable in his new role. He has command over the offense. He's taking shots down the football field. He's throwing with confidence. He's a guy who has really improved when it comes to the above-the-shoulder game. You know what I mean? Just being able to be in sync with his offensive guys. Man, this is a guy who looks like he's been with the Steelers for about 4 or 5 years, and he's only in year 2.
Why is that a big deal? That
because
transformation.
When you are comfortable, and I don't even want to just highlight just playing football. Let's highlight anything that you have to do. Whatever your 9 to 5 is for the listeners that are listening to me right now, you're at your best when you're comfortable, when you know exactly how things are going to go, when you know where everyone else is supposed to be and what they're supposed to do. Now you can be at your best. And I think that transitions into Kenny Pickett being the quarterback, the ultimate leader of a ball club. When he is comfortable, he's able to display the skill sets that made him a first-round draft pick some years ago.
What's his ceiling this year, Brian?
Man, my numbers for Kenny Pickett, we had opportunity to talk to him on All Things Covered as well, me and Pat Pete. Great guy, by the way. Great guy. I see at least 20-plus passing touchdowns. I see a guy who can give us around 400 yards rushing. You know what I mean? I think those are doable numbers. Doable numbers compared to what we saw in his rookie campaign.
Speaking of Pat Pete, is he going to play in the slot? Like, we're trying to figure out who the slot corner is for this football team. What's he going to do? Can you give us any inside dish here?
Oh, yeah, Pat's going to be the slot, dime, might see him at safety a little bit as well. He is the one wild card in the secondary where he will be lining up in many different positions. And he's really loving the experiment so far. He has an opportunity to do something he's never done before, which is play with his eyes. And, with his ball skills and his instincts, man, I expect to see number 20 around the football a lot.
How about Joey Porter Jr.? What are your impressions of him so far, Bryant? You saw him yesterday. Mike Tomlin was singing his praises.
Battle tested, because you talked about what he did yesterday. What about the day before with the catch that went viral, right? A lot of kids, when things like that happen, especially with social media being so impactful, you might go into a shell. Guess what? He was battle tested that same day, came over with a huge interception later on in practice, and then you talk about having a nice pick again yesterday. Man, I love what I'm seeing, because as a corner, young or old, you're going to be tested. You're going to give up some plays, but will you find a way to make more plays than what you've given up? And that's what we're seeing right now, man. Strong-minded, willed-it individual, and he's just learning as he goes. But I can tell you this much: he's standing up to the test in which he's seen week in and week out, every day out there at St. Vincent Latrobe.